Hello friends, today we'll see what is NX12, how does the interface of NX12 looks like, and what are different modules available inside NX12, uh, what are the out-of-box options and tools which are available with NX12, and we'll see a brief usage of some out-of-box sketching options today. We'll see all the things like in detail, like the modeling or sketching module, the manufacturing module. We'll try to cover each and every aspect of the tools available inside the application. So stay tuned with us. So what I'll do is I'll start the software itself. So I have NX12 here, which I have downloaded. It will take a minute or so depending upon your system. So if you have 4 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM, it is always recommended to have a more RAM memory, because it is good that if you have a graphics card and a good RAM, the design softwares or the softwares like the CAD softwares like the Siemens NX12, or sometimes even ANSYS like the finite element analysis softwares, these RAM softwares will work well with your higher RAM memory. What I'll do now, I'll go and hover upon what is being shown in the in your welcome to NX, that is your intro welcome page. So if I go to left, it shows me that it's NX. It is a standard kind of a thing for every application that it shows its name. Now if I want to see what is the version of it, it is showing here as NX12, developed by Siemens. Now I can go and see what all different things which are there. If I go to new, it asks me to create a new file. So beauty of this software is if you hover over a menu, a small description pops out, which is useful for starting when we are new, or some option we are going to use. We are not sure what that particular tool or what that particular option does. We can hover over it and we can just pause for a bit. It will show us some description, which is very helpful. So it will create a new project, a new file. It will open the existing file. So if we have some CAD file, we can open that. It can open the recent file. So I have generated a test file here, so that we can generate. When we go to assembly model, we'll discuss about this, but it is an assembly load option where from where we are going to choose what will be the scope, how the part will load inside an assembly and all that stuff is there. If you are using a touch screen, that is option. There is option for that as well. There are some customer default options which we can initialize. These are the application settings which we can decide what we want. We can do it inside also once we open or start something. There are other options also on the left hand side. There is a resource bar option, that do you want this bar on the left or on the right? Do you want to pin this bar, or when it's just like hiding the taskbar? All those things are there. Under the menu, there are again different kinds of options. So these options I prefer not to touch here, but once we start using and start going into the details, we'll see how this option will be helpful for our module. What we'll do right now is, and this is our working window. So everything what we'll be working upon is in this window. What we'll do is we'll create a new file. I'll click upon new. Now it gives me a tons of options here. These are like what I need to and what I'm going to do. Am I going to do a modeling? That means sketching. Am I going to do drawing? That is drafting. Am I going to do some additive manufacturing stuff? Whether I'm going for a manufacturing module like the CAM module, multi-access deposition, or some inspection where we have some out-of-the-box probes available. Renishaw probe is there, DMI's general setup is there. We have rotary machine setup. We can have standard setups, just like I can see tons of templates. We can generate the templates. So if the time permits, and if in the future we will try to cover up how a template can be generated. What is a template? Sorry, what is a template? So it is just like a launch pad. So we don't have to do the basic stuff. So the template will do its own basic stuff, and upon that we can now start working. So we don't have to work from scratch. We'll have something to work upon. So that's pretty much. Again, there are sub-modules inside this model, or modeling, or drawing, or different menus. So what I'll do is we'll generate. We are going to do modeling. Important thing, very important thing. We have to choose our units, whether we are going to work in millimeters or inches, metric or inches. So we are going to work in metric. So we have chosen millimeters. You can convert the units of a CAD NX file, but it's sometimes it works. It's my personal experience. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it is better to work, choose the units in the initial stage only. Okay. So in the below side of this menu, we have something called as name and folder. We can give name. So what I'll say is introduction. I'll choose a folder. This is pretty much standard thing what we do. So I'll go to this PC, I'll go to my E, and this is my folder. Okay, now it will open the modeling. Okay, now this is how it looks like. If I need to see what I have chosen, I can hover. I can shift from modeling to manufacturing, and again back to modeling. We can go to drafting. All those things we can do it inside as well. So if by mistake I want to do modeling, and in the starting of it I have chosen by mistake manufacturing, no worries. We can move from here and back. So what we will do is how to see what model we have chosen. So if you go on the top middle, almost middle, it is showing NX12, that is the version, and we are into the modeling. If you go to applications, this is important. If you go to application, it again gives you, I said you can shift from here to there. You can go from modeling to sheet metal to shape studio, drafting. If you click here, you can move. There is manufacturing also. So all those things you can change. So this is how the basic modeling window will look like. What we'll start today is how to sketch a basic shape in Next, we'll use the functionality of extrude, that is we are making a 3D out of the 2D sketch. And we'll stop today. From the next tutorial, we'll start a deep dive into each and every module. Now if I go from left to right, there are a lot of menus which are available. If I go to more, there are again sub menus which are available, and these almost all are used on day-to-day basis. If you are into the CAD and if you are using NX as your primary software, these options are very important. Let's say, so for example, let's say you have a surface which is not, for example, if you have imported IGS model, and so these are not solid surfaces. These are like the hollow. This is not a solid model. These are hollow model, and all that have the surface. If you want to extract the body, extract the faces or curves or points or datums from that particular surface, you can do it here. If you want to mirror certain feature, you can do it here. Okay. Now some of the mirror things you can do with the pattern feature as well. You want to split the body, so I have a body and I have to split the body, for example, in finite element analysis. I need a single body, or for the sake of meshing, I need separate two bodies, not dividing the surface, but I want two separate bodies which I will mesh it, and which I'll import it into some FEA application like ANSYS in APDL or Workbench, and then I'll work upon it. That's my requirement. I can do it here. I can divide the surfaces. These are really useful when you are generating some mirror features and you want similar dimensions, references to be taken from the same thing. And it is also useful, very much useful, when you are preparing the model for meshing. You can divide the surfaces here according to your need. You can import it into the meshing software, and you can proceed forward with that. So there are tons of things which we can go and which we can have a look at it. We'll try to cover as many options as we can. For today, as an introduction for this particular session, we'll see how we can draw the basic sketch. So on the left hand side, there is a sketch menu available. So as I told you, if you point your hover over that particular menu, it shows what that particular menu will do. So what it does is, it creates a sketch in the current application. Use the direct sketch tool to add curves, dimensions, constraints, etc. So what does it mean is, you can generate a sketch. There is a direct sketching option also. So you can directly click here and start doing your sketching. But what I'll do is, traditionally I'll click on sketch. Before that, sorry. So you can see two coordinate systems here on the left hand side, the left bottom, and in the middle there are two. There is one. So there are two coordinate systems. So whatever you are seeing on the left is a global coordinate system. So this is a 3D space of NX, and this is the global coordinate system for this infinite 3D space. What is this? This is a local coordinate system, and this is for a particular component, for a particular assembly, or a particular machine that is being loaded there. Got it? We'll see more of it into it in the next modules. So it is definitely useful when we are assembling the features. It is extremely useful when we are aligning machine in CAM setup. So where is my y-axis or z-axis or x-axis of my machine? It is not important how am I aligning the machine into the global coordinate system. So it can happen that my global coordinate y-axis may be the local coordinate x-axis for that particular machine. It can happen. We'll see more of it in upcoming sessions. Okay, so we'll click on sketch. Now it gives me a beautiful menu. Now in NX, these all are like step-by-step options which are given. So first you have to choose plane, then you have to define the plane method, what is reference, original method, and then specify your coordinate system. So it is asking me to specify my coordinate system because it is asking me to choose a local coordinate system. So currently I will not touch upon anything. I'm good with it. So I need to sketch on a plane. Okay. On path there is some path which is already being defined, and I'll select that particular path and I'll sketch upon it. Plane method is inferred. So inferred is I'll infer from whatever is available. Okay. And my reference is horizontal reference I'll take, and origin method is I'll specify point. Okay. So I'll click OK. I've chosen YX plane for my basic drawing functionality. What I'll sketch today is a letter M maybe. So I'll do is straightforward I'll do it. I'll not go into how the split functionality, join functionality, all that works. So I'll do it trim functionality. I'll do it straightforward. So if you hover over it, what it gives you, so let's say there are two lines upon each other, and when you are seeing from top view, you are sketching on it. There may be question that how to choose the middle line or the bottom line. So what you can do is you can go to that line, you can wait. Now it will show me 3 dots over here. Okay, I hope you are able to see those 4 arrows, and at the bottom arrow on the right hand side of it there are 3 dots which are given. That means there are more things you can choose from. So you can choose something. So it is giving me right now 2 options, but you can choose something whichever you want to sketch upon. At this currently the sketch origin and the origin of the datum coordinate system are same. So anything I can choose, I'll choose this and I'll draw. I need this to be 150 mm and the angle will be 90 degree. It is as simple as that. If I click on middle, I select OK and get out of that option. Okay. There is other way I can sketch. So what I did is right now I selected the dimension and I directly entered the dimensions, length and angle and all that, and I said okay. So, but this time what I'll do is I'll click on the line and I will select OK, and I'll do one thing. I can define the angle here, and how I can define is I can go to rapid dimensions. There are shortcuts which are available, so instead of clicking on the rapid dimension, what I can do is, it is taking a bit of time. So what I can do is I can click on D. Now it needs two references because I need to define dimension with respect to something. So I'll select this line and then I'll select this line. That gives me some angle. Okay, so I like my angle as 45, and I will either click my roller on the mouse or I'll say simply close. Okay, and now it is very simple. I can just mirror the whole thing, but we'll do it later, as I'm not going too much deep into it. Okay, now see, I can choose the end point of that line, or I can choose a point on the curve which will not be the end point. It may look like the end point, it will not be the end point. So I'll choose the end point. I'll come here. So this some guide is been provided, and it makes sure that we are choosing, and we are it reduces the constraints. Basically, if we just align here, it reduces our constraints. So I'll say okay, and so whatever is grayed out here, so whatever is in, so I'll make so if you click on the right click it, there are tons of menus which are available again, and I'll make the background as white. So it is good to work with the white background because all the colors will pop out immediately. So what happens is, if you see the difference, so this is a dark blue color and this is very light grayish or some bluish type color. I don't know how it is popping out on your screen. What does it mean is, this is not a basic dimension, or we are not defined this particular dimension. This has been, it is just only showcasing that dimension. We have not defined it as a 93.9. So what does it mean is, I can change this dimension by just pulling out here or there. What I'll do is, I'll right click, I'll select, and then right click or simply right click, and I'll say as a convert into driving. What does it mean? As converts the selected sketch dimension to driving dimension with an expression to the control geometry. Now if you see, it has defined an expression. So it is a P6 dimension, it is a P8 dimension. Why it is useful? We can do something called as parametric modeling, where we can define dependency of P8. So for example, here, if I'm defining some rule for parametric modeling, I can say that P8 and P9 are depending upon each other. That means this line and this line is 90 degrees, and the dimensions are same. That I can define. Let's say I need to scale the whole stuff whichever I have drawn by 2. I can do that using the parametric modeling. I'll click again. I'll now come here, and I'll just simply draw this. It is again 150. Convert it to drive. Now I need to offset the whole stuff, make it extrude out. So I'll come to sketch down, I'll click on offset curve, I'll select this curve. Now there is option available, so it says connected curves. So once you click on single line, whatever lines are connected to that will be selected automatically. Or you can select single curve. So you can select whichever is tangent to that particular curve. You can do that. So for us, it is good to select the connected curves. I don't want inside, I want it outside. So I'll I'll say 15 mm offset. I'll say okay. Now if I just simply finish the sketch and come on, I can see that this sketch is not closed, it is open. How can I go back? I'll simply come here and double click over it. Sorry, can double click over it. The sketch becomes active again. Now I'll go to line. Now I can click here or I can click L, which is same. I'll zoom in and I'll draw a couple of lines. I'll finish it, Control Q, or directly finish the sketch. It is finished. Now I can extrude it. So it creates a feature by extruding a section along a vector. So what I'll do is I'll extrude it. I can click here or I can simply click X on my keyboard. So what it asking me to select the curve first. So I'm selecting the curve. What it is asking in the next is what will be the direction of it. So whether it will be on the upward direction, whether it will be on the downward direction, how that will work. So I want it on the upward direction, so that's I'm good with it. So that is as far as the direction. So you can reverse the direction by simply clicking here. So now it was extruding up, now it will extrude down. But I'm good with, let's say, downwards. What will be the start value and the end value? So ending. So it will end from 0 to 100. But how will it start? Up till here, how will it start? So it will start, let's say it is starting from 900. So what it's basically doing is, from this gauge on the bottom side, it is extruding by 100 mm, and from this gauge on the upward side, it is extruding by again 100 mm. Why it is minus is because the direction is opposite. I don't want right now anything on the other side, so I'll say 0. Why it is inferred is there any Boolean operation? Because on the existing 3D model, if you are sketching and extruding or adding or subtracting something, we can do it here. We can draw on the available 3D model, and we can say we are uniting that, we are subtracting it, or we are intersecting it. That we can do, and then we can select the body from which we are doing it. It will not allow me because there is nothing for the Boolean operation, and we can preview it before clicking apply or OK. We can preview it. How will it look like? So it will look like this. I'm okay with it. I'll say OK. Now there is a bit difference between apply and OK. If I say apply, I'll show you. Go to extrude, I'll select this, and I want in this direction. So if I say apply, did you see the difference of OK and apply? When I said OK, it exited from the current menu and showed me this, but when I said apply, it only exited this particular selection and it remained into the current. That is the difference. That is useful when we are selecting multiple curves and different extrusion lengths. When we can use that option. So instead of every time going, exiting, and then again clicking extrude, we can simply do it by clicking apply. So Control Z it. I want this much. So you can see the coordinate system also, you can see the sketch here, you can see the 3D model here, all you can see. I'll show you how to hide these sketched lines or my 3D datum system or the entire model. If you go here, there is no selection filter and entire assembly options you are able to see. I'll simply click upon it. What I'll say is, I'll click on sketch. I'll click here, and I can do it from here also. So once I click here, so what has done is, now I'll not be able to select any solid body or the coordinate system. I'll be able to select only sketch. Okay, it has filtered out that particular selection. Once I click it, it will automatically give me this option. What it is asking me, if you want to go to setting and to do some parameter changes, whether you want to extrude it again, you have to suppress that, and whether I want to hide it. So hide I can do it Control V. Whether I want to change the display, that means now it is blue in color. Do I need to change the translucency or the color? That I can do it here. And when I suppress it, I have to, so it basically temporarily removes it, but it is a very good method and it is dependent. So if I suppress this sketch, the extrusion which is dependent upon this sketch will also get suppressed. So I'll select this, I'll Control B it, so it has hidden. Okay, and how will I see it? I'll say Control Shift B, so it will show me where it has hidden. So there are two windows in NX. One is the active window, and the other is which is hidden. So I can work simultaneously upon it. So for today's session, this is it. We'll discuss more about sketching and modeling in detail, in depth, and we'll try to touch upon each and every available options to us inside this module. Thank you and keep learning.